Hey guys, this is Pedro back with another interview, this time covering VCT Americas Stage 1 for playoffs. My guest at this time is neT of Cloud9 coming off of their match against Sentinels in which they fell to the latter team, thus going down to the lower bracket of said playoff phase. And so, neT, thank you so much for the opportunity. Once again, another conversation for this year. Obviously, I got to ask you first and foremost about the match that just happened just now. What's going through your mind? What are your emotions? What are your thoughts? What do you think about the result?
Yeah, definitely stuff we lost. I think that we definitely just fell flat, and we lost rounds that we shouldn't have lost in it, and we paid for it just because they're a good team. So it is what it is.
I mean, for sure. I mean, it was definitely a result that obviously could have gone a different direction had you guys been able to like start off on the right footing for both maps. I mean, you kind of mentioned it right there and there, like the not being able to convert certain rounds. I'm kind of looking back onto the 2v4 situation in Pearl, like when you guys had like I believe the advantage, like
Yep.
sometime after the tech pause. I mean, it was kind of an encapsulation of how that series went. And so, like from your point of view, just sort of what went wrong for the team. What do you think just prohibited the squad from starting off on the right foot in both occasions in this series?
I think a big thing was that we just weren't playing together enough, and we just made stupid mistakes that you can't do at a high level, and it just cost us. Like Sen played well today, and they converted on the runs they should have, and they showed up in big moments when they had to, when they were at man's disadvantages, and we just kept losing these 2v4s, 1v2s, whatever, and it was just devastating to us, just because you can't let a good team do that. You can't do that against a good team, or else you're just going to lose every time, and it showed.
I mean, I mentioned the 2v4 situation earlier on. Is there another example that you feel kind of like sticks out to you that you feel the team could have like done better, or was that aforementioned round the main one?
I would say there's so many of them. Like so many of them pop into my mind of they had just so many clutches, but yeah, we just need to be better as a team going into tomorrow. There were just too many to count, to be honest.
Oh, for sure, definitely understandable on that. I mean, I kind of want to start off talking about the series about Ascent, and I believe, obviously, I believe that you guys had a game plan coming into this match with that map pick in mind, given that up until now, Sentinels had not really played that map at all during an official setting, and so you guys wanted to try that out. But still, I want to ask you just more in depth, if possible, what was the rationale behind, or also the confidence level, like from the team in terms of just having to go for that direction for map one?
We were just confident that Ascent is a map that we're good at, and we know that we can beat any team on it. And it's a similar story to Pearl, where we just lost these man advantage rounds, or just these eco rounds, and it's just like you can't do that against a good team, or else you're just gonna lose. And I think that was just the theme of today, of just us just playing horribly. We played horribly. We're on the same page, and just it was tough day, honestly.
I mean, as you kind of said, like this team wasn't able to be on the right footing up until the very end of this series on both maps, to be more exact. I mean, it's kind of like reminiscent of like when you guys lost to MIBR, and maybe also when you guys lost to G2 earlier on in the regular season. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you think causes this team to just sort of like not be on the right page at the start of a given map?
I would say communication and just understanding of what we need to do. I think sometimes we are too static when we shouldn't be, and sometimes we do too much when we don't have to do anything. So hard to give a good answer, honestly, but just got to be better. That's it.
Yeah, it's definitely for sure. I mean, when you're coming off of a match like this, I mean, so many things may be popping up into your mind as to what this team could have done differently, and everything beyond that. And so, like, I mean, in a general sense, like, obviously, like you've been like kind of like you've been playing this game for a good while, and so you've seen plenty of wins and losses in your career. regardless of the team that you've been in. Obviously, this is not unlike this is not like this is similar to all of the past matches when you kind of take a step back and look at your career. Um, when you're in a playoff setting and you feel like the stakes are very high and the need to perform is at its very zenith. Um, what do you how do you normally try to move on from this kind of result and just kind of like reset mentally and then move on to the next round of a given bracket?
I think a big thing is just talking about what you think went wrong and just applying it into the next day, right? Like you said, we have a match tomorrow, and we don't have a lot of time to just sit there and just mope and feel sorry. Like it's okay to be upset about it for a moment, but you gotta focus and be better tomorrow because at the end of the day, every team wants it.
I mean, like in this setting, it's more different compared to like when you're playing on a week by week basis in the regular season or in the group stage. I mean, it's much more different in the sense that like now you play the match, now you got to focus on the next day. Do you feel like that helps this team kind of like compose themselves in between matches, or do you feel like you guys are not really in that kind of facet uh in relation to like playing in the group stage in the regular season and all that stuff?
I think it definitely helps us just because it was nice that we performed well enough in the regular season to have that second life. Just because I know we're a team that bounces back from just losses and just our shortcomings. So I'm confident we'll come back stronger tomorrow and we'll be much better.
Um, so far the team has suffered losses to G2 and MIBR on paper, and also like in reality, teams that have been very strong in this league so far this year, and so like and also including today losing against Sentinels, another team that was in the fight for attaining the first seed in their respective group. Um, I mean, all things considered, a pretty like respectable schedule, but obviously when you're in a setting like this, the need is to win, and unfortunately, you guys haven't been able to do that. With, of course, hopefully you guys can do that. How do you kind of look at the form of this team right now with those losses and that kind of schedule in mind?
I think we know that G2 and MIBR and Sentinels are some of the strongest teams in the world, to be honest. So we just know that we're a young, inexperienced team, and obviously we have rookies like Vic and like Francis that obviously Francis played before, but they're just very young and raw. So we just know like how good we can be, and it's just a matter of time of just perfecting the finer details and just getting better every day. And the focus is just winning something at the end of the day. And I'm confident that if we just keep doing what we have to, we'll win.
Oh, for sure. Hopefully, you guys are able to do that in due time and much more sooner rather than later, of course. And I want to pivot over to a different direction. Obviously, I want to also focus onto yourself, neT. I believe your mother appeared in the broadcast in today in the match against Sentinels, and she said a few words about how life was like, when it comes to yourself going into this esports career. But more so, before I get into that part, what was that like just having like your relatives, watch you compete in a setting like the Riot Games arena?
It was cool. It's nice to have people that just support me and are there for me when I need them. So they give me the confidence and the drive to be the best version of myself.
Were they always like against you like start pursuing this esports career, or were they like gung ho about it from day one?
My mom was definitely against it and was we argued about it a lot, but my brother was always there and just was always like, "Mom, give it a chance." And yeah, luckily, eventually she came around when I joined the guard, and I showed her that I was making money. So here we are.
No, for sure. I mean, was it the out of curiosity, like, was it the moment in which you guys qualified for Reykjavik in which she started changing your mind, or was it like sometime before that? Just trying to be more precise on that on the timing.
It was definitely sometime before. Sometime before after like we just started getting wins and just after we like boot camped and stuff, and she saw it was real, and she met all the employees. Like she supported me, and she's always been a big supporter of me in every regard. And she just wanted to make sure that I'm doing the best for my future and the best that I could do for myself.
Oh, for sure. Now focusing back onto the league and more so specifically this team, with you guys now going into the lower bracket, got a pretty daunting schedule ahead of you guys, needing 3 wins to make Masters. How do you look at the road ahead? You know, how do you look at the your thoughts on the potential opponents that you guys have to face and also defeat, including tomorrow against EG?
I just know that we can definitely beat all of these teams, and we have to because at the end of the day, like I know we're capable of making Toronto, and I know we're capable of being a top team in the world, and it's all about applying it and just performing when it matters.